Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. I have some articles to bring to you today, and it looks like it's just going to be the one episode. Earlier, I did a special edition for you, so it's kind of a slow news time right now with the holidays just ending and everybody kind of winding down and getting their lives back together. I'm sure we'll have more news picking up here shortly with this inauguration about to take place in 3 weeks, so we'll have to stay tuned and see what happens, but I've got a little bit to bring you today. Anyway, the first thing I have for you is for my stargazers out there. This is off of Universe Today, and there is a free ebook that you can download off of their website, and I put the link in the URL so that you can get to it. It's called 101 Astronomical Effects for 2017, and it's a free book that you can download, and it'll keep you up to date on everything that's going on with the stars and planets and stuff there in 2017. So I thought I'd offer that to you. And now we'll get started with the news. And of course, all of these URLs are also in the description of the video for your convenience. The first one here is off of Liberty Writers News, and it says, "Good news, everyone. Donald Trump just gave our veterans the best late Christmas present." If you're an American veteran, I'm sure some of you are sick and tired of having to wait around for the VA. Am I right? Well, don't worry. Donald Trump has a great Christmas present for all of you. An unnamed official from the Trump team told reporters today that he is currently coming up with a public-private option that will let you choose the VA or your own doctor. The official said, "We think we have to have kind of a public-private option because some vets love the VA and some vets don't want to go to the VA." And it says that's just classic Donald Trump for you, always keeping his word. He has assembled the best team, brought jobs back to America, and now is doing his part for the men and women who give it all for the country, our troops. During the election, Trump gave his word that under a Trump administration, no veteran will die waiting for service. Now, that's a tall order, but he is sure as hell working to see it come true. The next article that I have for you is off of Liberty Writers News as well, and it says Donald Trump just gave surprise speech that will ruin the UN. And this is a little bit old. This is from last week, but nonetheless, it is still some news. It says, "I bet the UN thought they were so smart by screwing over Israel with Obama's blessing right before he leaves office. They actually want to take the Wailing Wall away." Donald Trump says, "No freaking way." Trump is hanging out at the Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida for the Christmas break, but still decided to take time to address the nation and let them know exactly what he thinks of the UN. They have failed their potential and only screw stuff up. And there is video in this, if you'd like to pull it up and take a look at his speech. Bingo. There's nothing wrong with the idea of unity in the world. Hell, stuff is way better when we all work together, but that does not mean we have to get screwed. He told the reporters, "When do you see the United Nations solving problems? They don't. They cause problems. So if it lives up to the potential, it's a great thing. And if it doesn't, it's a waste of time and money." Donald Trump also said he did talk to Obama earlier, but would not say exactly about what. However, from the look of the video, he was not happy with Obama abandoning Israel. "I'm just glad to finally see a president willing to tell the UN when enough is enough. Stay strong, Israel. On January the 20th, things will get better." The next one I have for you is off of foxnews.com, and it says, "Study. Christians' most persecuted religious group in the world." Here's a study you won't find in any other major media headlines. According to the director of the Center for Studies on New Religions, called CESNUR, CESNUR, Massimo Vigni, I guess. I'm not sure, what exactly that is, but we'll read on. It says Christians are the most persecuted religious group in the world, with over 90,000 Christians killed in 2016 alone. Vignew told the Vatican Radio that there are nearly 500 million Christians who are unable to express or practice fully their Christian faith. Referring to statistics from the Center for the Study of Global Christianity, Vignew said of those 90,000 Christians persecuted in 2016, 70% of them were murdered in Africa due to the tribal conflicts. The other 30%, or 27,000, were killed in terror attacks, the destruction of Christian villages, or government persecution. And that was kind of an interesting article that I thought you might enjoy. Underneath of that one, there is another one. It says Hill Democrats outline counterattack for cowardly Obamacare repeal, which would probably also be another good article that you might want to check out. It's rather short. It says top House Democrats gave more clues Monday about how they'll fight GOP efforts to repeal Obamacare, sharing enrollment figures and stories about Americans saved by the health care law ahead of President Obama's visit on Wednesday. Obama makes the trip to Capitol Hill in his final weeks of office, and as the Republican-controlled Congress plans to start repealing Obamacare the day GOP President-elect Donald Trump takes office. Whatever the circumstances, health-wise, you are financially better off with Obamacare, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi said on Monday on a conference call with reporters. She was joined on the call by House Minority Whip Steny Hoyer and others on key committees to tout Obamacare's successes in reducing Americans' health costs and increasing their access to better care, while sending warning shots about the perils of dismantling the 2010 law. Pelosi and Hoyer argued that at least 20 million Americans would lose their health insurance, in part subsidized by the federal government, and chided Republicans for having no immediate plan to replace the law, more formally known as the Affordable Health Care Act. Understand repeal and delay is an act of cowardice, said Pelosi, Democrat of California. Said Hoyer, Republicans' repeal and delay plan is code for repeal without an alternative. The truth is they have no alternative to replace it. Their plan is to turn back the clock, make Americans unhealthy again, perhaps. Wow. I'll tell you what, Nancy Pelosi and her group of merry men there have the right to tell me about health care when they get covered under it, not opt out of it. The next one here is off of the Conservative Tribune. It says welfare recipients will be ticked when they learn what these two states just moved to ban. Welfare recipients might be able to buy only necessities with their government benefits in the near future if President-elect Donald Trump's administration approves state requests to limit what items people can purchase with food stamps. According to the Daily Signal, officials in both Maine and Arkansas plan to ask the Trump administration to prohibit the use of food stamps to buy unnecessary items such as candy. President Barack Obama's administration previously denied any requests of the sort, and welfare recipients have been able to purchase whatever junk food they desire instead of necessities. The purchase of alcohol and tobacco is allowed using food stamps, another measure approved by the Obama administration. But Mary Mayhew, commissioner of Maine's Department of Health and Human Services, told the Daily Signal that federal and state government should only provide what is necessary to those who claim they cannot afford food. What an individual with their own money that they earn choose to buy with is their prerogative. What a program known as supplemental nutrition assistance that is taxpayer funded support should be restricted and directed based upon the policy of the program, Mayhew said. And there is video in this if you want to take a look at that. I'm trying to get this to scroll on up here. And it's wanting to play a video. And let's get that shut down. Okay, it says the food stamp program was originally created as temporary assistance for families with monetary times of need, and it shouldn't be needed often, Trump said. Thankfully, 96% of America's poor parents say their children never suffer from a day of hunger. But when half of food stamp recipients have been able to dole for nearly a decade, something is clearly wrong, and some of it has to do with fraud. It would be nice to have a little common sense in the White House for a change. That I have in this episode for you is off of the All News Pipeline, and it says former Clinton Foundation CEO missing since October of 2016. Hashtag Where's Eric? Internet chatter reaches a fevered pitch. Former Clinton Foundation CEO Eric Braverman was hired in July of 2013, supposedly backed by Chelsea Clinton, to impose McKinsey-like management rigor to the foundation. The foundation board approved $395,000 salary plus bonuses, then voted to extend his term through 2017. Weeks after that vote to extend his board term, Braverman abruptly quit in January of 2015. According to a Politico article about Braverman from March of 2015, his exit stemmed partly from a power struggle inside the foundation between and among the coterie of Clinton loyalists who have surrounded the former president for decades and who helped start and run the foundation. 6 days after that Politico's story was published, and about 2 months after Braverman resigned, Joe Scarborough, host of Morning Joe on MSNBC, tweeted, "A source close to the Clintons tell at Ron foreigner to follow the money and find the real HRC scandal." According to leaked emails published by WikiLeaks from the Podesta emails, Center for American Progress President Neera Tanden emailed Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta at Joe NBC. A source close to the Clintons tell at Ron Foreigner to follow the money and find the real HRC scandal. And then there is a link, and it says, "I'm hoping someone is keeping tabs on Doug Band." Quote in here is from someone who worked in the Clinton Foundation. Podesta responded with one name, Eric Braverman, to which Tanden replied, "Holy Moses." That same month is when the news of Clinton's private email server broke nationally, became major headline news. WikiLeaks published those emails during the height of the election season in October of 2016, around the same time that Eric Braverman disappeared from public view. His last public activity can be traced to an October 12, 2016 retweet. A look at his Twitter history shows he wasn't very active, as one before that on August the 3rd, and before that one in June. Is it a coincidence that Braverman cannot be contacted in any manner from emails sent to him to Yale University, where he's still enlisted for spring 2017 classes in the school management and the law school, all not responded to? Rachel Alexander from Stream writes the following: "I left a voicemail on Braverman's personal phone and sent him an email, but received no response. He is still listed as a lecturer at Yale University, and contrary to some reports, there is a record of his lectures going back several years. I contacted the press office and Braverman's department at Yale and received no response." ANP has also attempted to reach out to Braverman, as well as contacts connected to him, to no avail. Videographer George Webb, who runs a popular YouTube channel, has been tracking Braverman's disappearance, providing daily feature video updates, and believes Braverman officially went missing 12 days after his last tweet on October the 24th, 2016, which was 2 days after WikiLeaks published the Podesta email, where it became public knowledge that Podesta suspected Braverman of being behind the follow the money and find the real HRC scandal scoop given to Ron Foreigner. Internet chatter and conspiracy theories have surrounded Braverman's disappearance from the public, originating with a rumor that had sought asylum from Russia, but due to his intimate knowledge of the inner workings of the Clinton Foundation, in conjunction with The fact that the FBI bureaus across the country in New York, Little Rock, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, and Miami are all involved in massive probe of the Clinton Foundation, it's more likely that Braverman is in protective custody as a witness to the crimes he uncovered during his tenure at the Clinton Foundation, since no official missing persons report has been filed on him. In November of 2016, Brett Bauer from Fox News reported that FBI sources believed the Clinton Foundation case was moving towards likely an indictment. Transcript via Real Clear Politics says, Brett Bauer, breaking news tonight. Two separate sources with intimate knowledge of the FBI investigations into the Clinton emails and the Clinton Foundation tell Fox the following. The investigation looking into possible pay-for-play interaction between Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and the foundation has been going on for more than a year, led by the White Collar Crime Division, Public Corruption Branch of their Criminal Investigative Division of the FBI. Clinton Foundation investigation is a, quote, very high priority, unquote. Agents have interviewed and re-interviewed multiple people about the Foundation case, and even before the WikiLeaks dumps, agents say they have collected a great deal of evidence. Pressed on that, one source said, quote, a lot of it, unquote, and, quote, there is an avalanche of new information coming every day, unquote. Some of it from WikiLeaks, some of it from new emails. The agents are actively and aggressively pursuing the case. They will be going back to interview the same people again, some for the third time. As a result of the limited immunity deals to top aides, including Cheryl Mills and Heather Samuelson, the Justice Department had tentatively agreed that the FBI would destroy those laptops after a narrow review. We are told definitively that has not happened. Those devices are currently in the FBI field office here in Washington, D.C., and are being exploited. The source points out that any immunity deal is null and void if any subject lied at any point in the investigation. Another interesting point that we would be remiss to ignore is how it became public knowledge that immunity deals had been offered to Clinton aides regarding investigations. Not one peep from the FBI nor the mainstream media has mentioned any such deal for Braverman, a man who held the CEO position for the foundation for over a year and would be far more knowledgeable about any crimes committed by the Clinton Foundation. Eric has now been created as a hashtag on Twitter, and depending on whether we go from the October 12th retweet by Braverman or the videographer's date of October 24th, he has now been missing anywhere from 70 to 82 days. The bottom line, it all comes back to follow the money to find the real HRC scandal, because private server use, the internal corruption and collusion by the DNC and the Clinton campaign and the mainstream media makes for good headlines. But when you follow the money, all roads lead back to the Clinton Foundation, under investigations by multiple FBI bureaus, and the man that has been missing for well over 2 months was in a position to know all of their dirty secrets. Since the initial question about Braverman's disappearance from the public eye started months ago, all it would take is one public statement, one returned email, one video for Braverman to dispel all theories, rumors, and talk of disappearance. Yet, not one word has come from him or anyone that knows him. No public statements saying he's alive and well, nothing. The silence is deafening and troublesome. And there's some more video there that you can take a look at in that one. And that's all I have for you in this episode today. And of course, if I come across any breaking news or anything that warrants special edition, I'll bring that to you. If you like what we're doing, give it a thumbs up, share it on your social media so everybody gets to hear the news, and be sure and subscribe if you haven't. Click that little bell beside the subscribe button and check the box so that you get email messages every time I put a show out. We'll see you later. Have a great day.